1st of January 2014, and the time now is 4:32 p.m. and the time has come for me to begin the dice life. So without further ado, here is my dice, and I've typed up 6 different dice options on my computer, and so I'm going to read them out and then I'm going to roll the dice and then we'll see which one I do. So option number 1 is to open a Twitter account. I've never had a Twitter account, and so the option is to open up a new Twitter account, go to the Twitter pages of 10 celebrities and leave a comment on each of them in response to whatever they are currently talking about on there. Number 2, make a piano video of Silent Movie Chase. Silent Movie Chase is a really awesome piece of music by Debbie Wiseman, and it's in the grade 8 rock school piano syllabus, and I just love it. It's a really, really awesome piece, and a couple of my totally awesome pupils are learning it. Number 3, select 6 charities and roll the dice to decide which charity to give money to. If I get a 1, I'll give them £5. If I get a 2, give them £10. If I get a 3, give them £15, etc. Okay, option number 4, find 6 outlandish items of clothing on Amazon or eBay that I wouldn't normally wear. Use the dice to decide which one I buy, and when it arrives, wear it for that day. Okay, option number 5, properly hoover the house and mop the kitchen floor. The house isn't really in that bad a state, but it could do with a bit of hoovering, I suppose, and the floor is a little bit dirty. So there's the boring option. Okay, and then number 6, choose 6 different MPs. Roll the dice to decide which one to write to. And then choose 6 different topics. Roll the dice to decide which topic to write about to the MP, and then write the letter and send it. So those are the 6 options. And without further ado, let's roll the dice and see which one the dice tells me to do. Right, here goes. Okay, well, it's come up with a 6. So I have to choose 6 different MPs, roll the dice to decide which one to write to, choose 6 different topics, roll the dice to decide which topic to write about to the MP, and then write the letter. So I've got to find 6 MPs now. There's a really cool website for this, actually. If ever you want to write to an MP, if you go to Google and type in write to my MP, there's a website and you can write to MPs that way for free. It's not really, you don't actually write a letter, it's like an email or something. I think it's an email. But anyway, whenever I've written to MPs like about 2 or 3 times, and they've always written back. So, not that it probably doesn't make any difference to anything, but it's still quite fun to write to an MP. Okay, here we go then. Let's find this website. Write to my MP. Okay, yeah, it's called writetothem.com. You can write to counsellors as well. Okay, right, first enter your postcode. Okay, well, I can write to John Hawthorne, Philip Wharton, Denise Bunning, Conservative. All right, sorry, those are councillors, right? My member of Parliament is a guy called Ian Stewart. He's Conservative. You're members of the European Parliament. Can I write to these as well? I can write to Nigel Farage. Alright, okay, well, I'll write to all your MEPs. I can write to MEPs. And I can write to a Lord as well. Well, I think I might, I'm going to change the option. Well, I'm not going to change the option, I'm just going to add to it. So I'm going to roll the dice as to whether to write to a councillor or an MP or an MEP or a Lord. Okay, If I get a 1, 3, or a 5, I'm going to write to a councillor or an MP. And if I get a 2, 4, or a 6, I'm going to write to an MEP or a lord. So here we go. Let's roll the dice again. Right, 1, 3, or 5, 2, 4, 6. Right, it's a 4. So I'm going to write to an MEP or a lord. So if it's a 1, 3, or 5, I'm going to write to an MEP. If it's a 2, 4, or 6, I'm going to write to a lord. So here we go. Oops. All right, it's a 1. So I'm going to write to an MEP. All right, now there's a whole list of MEPs here. I'm going to write to either Marta Andresen, Nigel Farage, Peter Skinner, Sharon Bowles, James Ellis, or Catherine Bearder. Hang on, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right then. So let's roll the dice again. It's a 5. So I'm going to write to James Ellis, who is a Conservative MEP. Right, here are my 6 options for writing to James Ellis, or Ellis, or however you pronounce his name. Ells. I don't know, I've never seen that name before. So these are my 6 options. It's immigration is the first one. It's an obvious one. My second one is a silly one. It's treacle. Third one is a serious one, gay marriage. The fourth one is Scientology. The fifth one is Scottish independence, and the sixth one is ferrets. So let's roll the dice and we'll see what it says. So here we go. All right, that's a 4. Okay. So I'm going to write to James Ellis, who's an MEP, about Scientology. So off I go. Right then, here we go. Here's my letter to James Ellis, or Els, or however you pronounce it. James Els is a Conservative MEP for the Southern region, Southeast region, or Southern region, or something like that. Anyway, here's my letter to him. Dear James Ellis, over the course of the last 13 years, I have spent over £145,000 of my own money on auditing administered by the Church of Scientology. And without going into the technicalities, I have now acquired the ability to psychically move physical objects. I have spent the last month and a half testing my newfound abilities in order to determine the maximum and minimum size and mass of objects that I am able to psychically move, as well as training myself to be able to manipulate them with skill and accuracy. It turns out that not only can I control small objects the size of a grain of salt in any way that I so choose, but I have also found myself capable of lifting a small Pacific island clean out of the sea and into the air in its unbroken entirety. I have not tested my abilities on larger objects than this, because it would involve attempting to lift a small country, and this would disturb the people living there. I have also desisted from testing my ability on objects in space for fear of causing some kind of calamity that would affect human life on this planet. However, the ease with which I was able to uproot the small Pacific island and move it about in the air suggests to me that my powers of telekinesis are of sufficient strength to be able to lift and maneuver objects of considerably larger mass and size. I may, for example, be able to move the moon, other planets, stars, or even entire distant galaxies, but I am yet to test this. This leads me on to my main reason for writing to you. As a fan of yours and of the party you represent, I would like to offer my services to you. My powers could be put to certain beneficial uses. For example, I could be deployed on merchant ships, I could be employed on merchant ships to deal with those pesky Somalian pirates. I could be flown over terrorist targets in the US drone program to remove suspected terrorists more efficiently and without the need for civilians to also be blown up in the process. Or I could use my powers to help Andy Murray win Wimbledon again, should he run into trouble against Nadal or Djokovic. I look forward to hearing back from you as to how I might best be able to serve you and your conservative brethren. Yours sincerely, George Green. By the way, George Green is a character in my favourite TV show, and I actually rolled the dice to decide whether to use my real name or a false name, and the dice said use a false name, so I'm using a false name, and so I'm about to hit send, and we'll see what James Ellis comes back with if he writes back to me at all. Alright, that'll do for today.
And now everybody to the dance.